This magic moment may be wonderful, my love, but not as wonderful as the movie we're going to talk about today. On the Homewrecker podcast. Hello, everybody. I am the Golden Greek Alex Arion, joined as always by the beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, amazing trophy wife, the lovely Monique. Monique, how are you?
Hi, I am fabulous, thank you. How are you?
You're fabulous.
Yes, I am fabulous.
Outstanding. I'm doing well.
Excellent.
Fantastic, as always.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Well, thank you. Thanks so much. So, as I just said, we are talking about Con Air.
One of the greatest movies ever.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's all right. It's all right. It's definitely entertaining, if nothing else, I guess. So, before we get into that, though, you're like so pumped to talk about this darn movie. I tell you, this movie's something else. It's definitely entertaining, as I said, but
I like Nicolas Cage movies. I don't care what anyone else says.
how many movies has he done now? I mean, it's a
lot?
ridiculous
Enough?
amount. I'm in his
I guess you
IMDb
could say
page
it's
right
never
now.
enough.
102, it looks like.
Good for him. He's busy.
Not bad. Good for
Yes.
him. Yeah, it seems like he's got a new movie out every few months. A lot of direct-to-video stuff. But, you know, what are you going to do?
It's okay.
Got to feed the family,
Yeah.
right? Got to pay the bills somehow.
Yeah.
Didn't he owned like a Superman #1 comic or something like that that got stolen?
Didn't he own like dinosaur bones? Was that him? And then something happened and then he had to give them back because they were illegally exported.
From China, from that factory
Yeah.
that makes them?
Dinosaur bones.
The dinosaur bones, right.
I paid $5 million. I don't know if that's really the amount for dinosaur bones. They're plastic, but
Right, yeah.
it has a certificate of authenticity.
I don't know if that was him or not. It wouldn't shock me.
Was he the one? There was a video of, I think it was him and, was it Vince Neil? Outside, somewhere in Vegas, and Vince Neil was getting into a fight with some lady or something, and he was trying to break it up, and they were both really, really drunk.
I don't know, but if that's true, that sounds awesome. We need to find that video
Okay.
and watch that.
Stop this now! Give my ring!
We should review that instead of the movie. That's
I'll just
fantastic.
spit out my iced tea.
Yeah, spit take over here.
Oh my.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. But he's something though. That Nick Cage.
Now, we've already done a Nicolas Cage movie review with A Vampire's Kiss.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
movie,
fun.
That
Oh,
was
that's
yeah.
so
That was something. And that was the first time you and I both seen that movie.
good.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's such a cult classic. But yeah, good stuff. All right. So Con Air.
Do we want to talk about anything else before we get into this?
I don't know, because I feel like if we talk about anything else, I mean, I guess we can briefly say, how you doing?
No.
Anything new?
I'm going to shout out now just to get it out of the way.
Please.
Go to my Etsy shop, Wonders by Monique, or my website, tarotbymonique.com. And I make Organite. I do tarot and oracle readings. I make smudging spray, all wonderful things. And I'm an ordained minister. So if you want to get married and you need someone to perform the ceremony, I'm your gal.
Can an ordained minister perform their own wedding ceremony?
I don't know. Do you want me to marry us?
Can you remarry us? Is that something you can do?
I can do whatever I want. Hey, this is our show. We can do what we want on this show.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I do have the marriage certificate, so I guess I could sign it as long as we have a witness.
All right.
Can I get a witness? Some kind of wonderful? No? I like oldies.
All right, then.
I'm so pumped to talk about this movie.
All right, well, why don't we get into it
Okay.
then? Let's get into it. Why don't you go ahead and start us off?
I'll give a very brief synopsis of the movie. How's that sound?
Sounds great, and then we'll just pick it apart.
Yeah. A guy who served in the military goes to jail for something he shouldn't have gone to jail for.
What's his name?
Cameron Poe.
Played by?
Nicolas Cage. And when he's supposed to get out of jail many years later, he gets put on an airplane to go home. The airplane is filled with other prisoners or convicts, and chaos ensues. And Cameron Poe saves the day. So close to not messing that up.
Hey, that's pretty good. All right. So next week on the Homewrecker podcast.
There we go.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the movie review.
So,
well, the synopsis, I should say.
I want to talk. So obviously, spoilers.
Oh yeah, come on. The movie came out when in '97. Was it 97?
97, yes.
Okay, so if you haven't seen it yet, turn on. What was it? It used to always be on TBS.
Was it always like TBS
right?
and TNT?
Yeah, it used to be. I mean, we haven't had cable in a while, so I don't know if that's still the case. But that's where I saw it so many times on that channel.
Yeah.
On one of those channels, I should say.
And watching it, like the actual movie version, not on TV, not edited, it's quite a bit different.
Yeah, and I think that when we just watched it to do this movie review, that's the first time I've ever seen it
in its entirety,
unedited. So there was all kinds of additional stuff that I'd never seen, because I've seen the movie a bunch of times, just in edited form. And I didn't realize that it's rated R, correct?
Yes.
It's got to be, because
it's rated R.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it just
some of the
totally
stuff
different.
kind of made sense how it got from one part to another.
Yeah.
If you're only watching the edited to the unedited version, like made for TV edited. But I want to talk about how our star, how Cameron Poe, ends up in prison. So he's what, a Green Beret or something like that? An Army Ranger. Army Ranger, thank you. And he goes home, and his wife, who's pregnant, working at a bar, dealing with the riffraff, and they're getting in the car to leave. And the riffraff, couple guys come out, start harassing him. First of all, just get in the car and go. Of course, we won't have a movie. So he ends up getting into a fight with them, and he accidentally kills a guy. And he ends up going to prison. And I'm just thinking, like, I don't know if that would happen in real life if he was attacked and it was self-defense.
Because the way, the judge and the
attorney said plead guilty.
Plead guilty.
But
he pled guilty. What was it? Because of his training, he's considered a lethal weapon or something. I don't know if that's. I don't know how that works.
It's still self-defense. If somebody has a weapon and they're trying to kill you.
They came at him with a knife. It was like 3 guys, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
that's
like,
self-defense.
Okay.
So he had a shitty lawyer.
Yeah.
And he went to prison for what, 7?
I think it ended
7
up
years?
being 7 years. Yeah.
Yes.
7 years. Of a 10-year sentence or something like that.
Yeah, 7 to 10 years, because they're like, if you plead guilty, what did they say, get like a few years?
Yeah, plead guilty, you'll probably get like 4 years. This is what his lawyer's telling him. He's like, I'm not going to plead guilty for something I don't feel I did. I can't do the accent, but it's the worst. The worst
But
accent.
It's so good, Dad.
It is. It is. So I can't. But yeah, he's like, I don't want to plead guilty for something I didn't do.
Didn't he say he hung out? Where was it? Like Louisiana? Where was it? He's supposed to be from.
Oh, jeez,
But he
sure.
stayed there to perfect the accent.
It very well could be.
He could be doing a spot-on job.
Yeah, but to me, just because I don't know, I still have Vampires Kiss Nicolas Cage in my head. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's something. It's memorable, if nothing else.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. Did I tell you that when I was in high school, and I'm sure this happened in your high school too. They have the armed forces in your high school going around trying to recruit people. Did I tell you that I was and I wanted to be an Army Ranger? That's what I wanted to do.
I almost joined the Marines.
Yeah, I took all the tests. I did everything. I did the physical. There's a written test. I forget what it's called now. ASVAB, I think is what it's called. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that stands for, but I took all that stuff. I was ready to go, but I was young. I still wasn't 18. I graduated when I was 17. I just turned 17.
I did too.
And the guy was like pressuring me to sign the paperwork. I'm like, what? I'll sign. It's good. I've taken all the tests. I'll sign when I'm ready to sign. And he was like calling my house all the time and just like badgering me to sign. I finally just went, you know what? No, forget it. I don't want to do it anymore. Forget it. Just I don't like being pushed.
No.
You know what I mean?
He
Like I like
does
to.
not like ultimatums.
No, not at all.
Mm-mm.
But I mean, I was close. Like I was ready to go and do that. But
Yeah, I actually almost joined the United States Marine Corps. My brother joined the Marines when he got out of high school. My parents said, you have two choices, college or the military. I didn't really want to go to college, so I thought, oh, okay, I'm pretty tough. I'll join the military. And
There you go.
then I was going to so many punk shows. I was like, punk shows, military. Punk shows, military. I think I'll go to punk shows.
I can see why you made the decision you made. For that. Yeah.
Because I was a kid and I didn't feel like making a decision.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like for me, it was kind of I goofed off a bit in school. Like in high school, I wasn't really. I hated it. Like I just hated being there. I hated the people. I just didn't want to be there anymore.
You just want to go and live.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, up until that point, up until freshman year, I was a straight A student. And then freshman year, I was like, this is a totally different world, you know. And you know, all the cliques and all that stuff. I hated it. I couldn't stand being in school. And so, in Greece, where my family's from, it's mandatory that you go into the military. You go into the armed forces, you serve for 2 years. And then you can continue if you want to, or you get out. But everybody has to go for those 2 years. So I was like, well, I mean, and I had, you know, older cousins and stuff that were in the army that were, you know, serving and everything. So I was like, oh, you know, that's probably not a bad idea. Because I didn't really, I knew I wanted to be a wrestler, but at the time I didn't know how to go about doing it. So I'm like, all right, well, I need to do something, I guess. So this seems viable. And yeah, I had the recruiter came over the house, gives me the whole pitch and everything. He's like, why do you want to get in the army? I said, to serve my country. And he's like, what?
Instant boner. He's
like,
yeah, America.
He's like, nobody's ever said that to me. He's like, cause I remember my mom was sitting there with me. He's like, nobody's ever said that to me. I'm like, look at him, like, well, why else would you want to be in the army? Like, why else would you want to be in the military? If not for that. He's like, oh, most people want it because of the money, the school, all this.
The money.
I'm just like, okay, yeah, I figured to serve my country, and then, you know, if I get something in return, that's great. But that was why.
Mm.
And that's when, yeah, he went over all the different
just kept
things.
badgering you though.
But no, yeah, but
it's like a pushy salesman. We talked about it
right.
a year or two ago when we looked for another car. The guy wouldn't stop, so it's like, nope, never mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a buddy. His older brother was a Navy SEAL, so that was another thing that I was like, oh, you know, he always talked about how, you know, how great it was, and you know, for me, I think because you know how disciplined I am. I'm very disciplined. When I make up my mind about something, I can do it. I'm very routine, very regimented. It probably would have been easy for me. I mean, compared to how other people experience it, probably would have been a relatively easy experience for me. Not to downplay the military, obviously it'd be challenging as hell, but I thought it would have been a good fit for me. Right, yeah. But, yeah, just too pushy, so I was like, yeah, done.
But Cameron Poe did join the military.
But Cameron Poe did.
Yes.
Back to the movie.
And he became a lethal weapon.
Yeah.
And he used those lethal weapons. And
Yes,
he
he did.
served time for it.
Yes, he did.
And he became rehabilitated.
I guess. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the guy to begin with, right?
And we meet Baby-O.
Oh, man. Baby-O. Baby-O. He's the same actor that played, what was his name? He was in Forrest Gump. He was the
Bubba! He was Bubba!
Bubba in Forrest Gump.
Oh!
Yes, that was the same guy. Yeah. What's the
I feel like
actor's
this
name?
poor guy, he's always getting the shaft. Isn't it like Mackay?
My eyes are going on me here in my old age.
Something Williamson?
McKelty Williamson.
McKelty Williamson.
I think I pronounced that correctly. Yeah.
If we didn't, sorry. I'm sure he's not listening or
Sorry,
cares.
Mr. Williamson.
Yeah.
You probably don't care anyway.
But we meet Baby-O. And Baby-O's a diabetic, and that will come into play.
Yes, that comes into play later. What?
It's like Oh gosh.
For me, one of the most annoying parts of the movie, and it shouldn't be annoying to me, especially considering the relationship I have with my children, but it's the letters that Cameron Poe's writing to his, because remember, he goes to prison, his wife is pregnant with
Yes.
their daughter, so
Yeah.
he never meets his daughter.
Mhm.
So he has a daughter, and they start like corresponding back and forth, and you have like Nicolas Cage, like, you know, reading the letters that he's writing to his daughter, and then her voice is reading the letters that she's sending to him, and just the whole back and forth. That little montage that went like 3-4 minutes, and it was like, oh, please end already. Oh my
Was it a
God.
little nauseating?
It was just, it was
too much.
It was too much for me. Yeah.
But it's to show that bond. He's still in a
Yeah.
committed relationship with his wife.
Yeah, which is commendable, of
Mhm.
course.
And he's trying
He's
to be
building
there
a
for his
relationship with his
daughter
daughter,
as much
sure.
as he can. It shows his character.
Sure.
Yes.
It definitely does. I
Yes.
think it's just the accent. The accent that he had. It's just something. I can't get over it.
So,
Oh, man.
Cameron Poe
Yeah,
gets
so anyhow,
rehabilitating. He's
so
getting out of prison.
he's getting out of prison now.
And there's a plane that he's going to take. And I'm like, usually when you go to prison, isn't it somewhere kind of local in your state? It's like a state penitentiary, typically.
Well, when I did my stint in the Pokey or in the Clink, or when I did my
Prison Mike! Sorry for Office fans.
Office fan, yeah. When I did my stint, I honestly have no idea how that works. I don't know how any of that stuff works.
So I thought that was a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then let's talk about him getting off the bus.
Let's.
Nicolas Cage, his character Cameron Poe, steps off the bus. They're showing all these hardened criminals getting off the bus, giving the rundown, because we have John Cusack, and he is a U.S.
He's like
Marshal.
a U.S. Marshal, I think, yeah.
And they're going over everyone because there was, or was he, one was, I think, U.S. Marshal, but then, and there was the other guy. Was it Ass Kicker with the license plate Ass Kicker?
Yes.
He was DEA.
Okay,
So
that's
U.S.
what
Marshals and DEA are going over like who everyone is, the rundown on everyone, and
Cole
then
Meany was the actor's name.
yes,
And his character was Agent Duncan Malloy.
yes. I feel like that guy always plays an asshole.
He's pretty believable. He's
Yeah,
good at it, so
he's good
yeah,
at
it works.
Probably the nicest guy in the world. Who knows?
Probably is.
Acting. So they're doing the rundown, and then Nicolas Cage steps off the bus, and he just puts his face into the sunshine, and the wind is gently blowing his hair, and the hair is so bad. It's like a mullet, but it's like, how can I explain it? It's like the wind's not really strong enough to move it enough, and it looks so awkward and weird the way it's flowing. But he just has that like, feeling the sunshine on my face. I'm gonna be a free man.
Like
soon.
he's never been out in the sun the entire 7
Like
years.
he's been
in prison.
inside and solitary the whole time.
Right. Well, that's how he acted.
Yes.
But I mean,
Acting.
yes. Yeah.
It was quite incredible.
Phenomenal.
And then of course, he's a nobody.
Yes.
They're downplaying his character, yes. But just him stepping off that bus, wow.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the heels in the movie.
Ooh, Cyrus the Virus.
Cyrus. John Malkovich.
Yes. I like
Cyrus
John
the
Malkovich.
Virus Grissom.
Yes. My favorite, Steve Buscemi.
Garland Green.
He's
supposed to be like some crazy.
the mayor. What is it?
I forget now, but he was like
Marietta
some-
Mangler.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He supposedly his character kills like a bunch of families or something like that, right? Is that
Bunch
what
of
it was?
people. Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like this crazy serial killer, and you look at him, it's like it's Steve Buscemi, and you're like, what?
I love Steve Buscemi.
And he just says a bunch of. It's funny because his character says a bunch of stuff while they're on the plane.
Yeah. Like, do you know what irony is?
And it's like everything he says is like, yeah,
Spot on.
But they're all looking at him like he's crazy. It's like he's probably the only sane guy in there based on what he's saying.
He just happens to kill people
He just-
and wear their skin.
But the stuff he's saying is like, He's right.
He's absolutely
Yeah.
right. He's probably one of the most sane people,
Well,
so to speak,
well,
other than the killing.
Based on his rhetoric, he's sane, but
Yeah.
obviously his actions, if you believe that, not so much. But yeah, so he's there. Then you have Danny Trejo, who is
Johnny 23.
Johnny 23.
Yes.
He's got like what is it?
It's like almost like a vines with hearts.
It's hearts. I thought it was roses.
I thought it was hearts for
Maybe it was
all
hearts.
of his ladies.
And they're both. It was red roses or
Mhm.
hearts, whatever it was. I'm sorry, I can't remember now. I thought
it was hearts.
Fair
I
enough.
could be wrong.
But it was one for every one of his.
Every woman that he raped.
Every woman that he raped. Yeah.
Mhm. Of course, he said, "What do you say? I'd be Johnny 300 if they really knew."
It's John 300 that knew the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Pinball by Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, pinball. Pinball was fun. Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle's hilarious.
He is funny. I saw that he improvised most of his lines, and I just think,
Really? That
imagine
makes
like
sense.
if you're an actor and you show up and you go to work and you just say whatever the hell you want, and they're like, "Good, that's a take."
Why not?
Don't have to memorize shit. Like, okay, I'll take that job.
I mean, that's a talent. Being
Yeah.
able to improv like
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
I mean, they have comedy troupes that's all they do is improv, and that's. I mean, I don't know if I could do that. I'm sure I could if I was trained properly, but I mean, you can't just. It's a skill. Let's put it that way. So I respect that.
Well, we've seen some actors, quote unquote, on TV who have to stick to the script. So,
Hey, it is what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
who else? We have MC Gainey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was flying the plane. He was on the
Yes.
second plane because they had to make a stop after they took over.
That's right.
Yeah, and so he came on, and
Thank
it's
you
the
for
dude.
drumming.
Sorry, the dude from Hackers. What's his name? It was like Sally Can't Dance. Was that it?
Renoli Santiago.
Yes.
He's the actor's name.
What was the character's name?
Sally Can't Dance.
Sally Can't Dance.
Yeah.
Yes, he was funny too.
Okay.
My
Fine.
little 2 cents. But he was from Hackers, and I'm like, oh, it's the kid from Hackers.
Hackers. That was a movie with Angelina Jolie, right?
Yes, and Johnny Lee Miller.
Okay.
And they're hackers.
Right.
But we're not talking about that movie. We're talking about Con Air.
Yeah. So back to Connor.
Ving Rhames.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. He's in it too.
Mm-hmm. So we have all these naughty, naughty men who can't behave themselves.
Yeah.
And they take over the plane. We have Guard Bishop.
Yeah.
And she knows that Cameron Poe wants to see this little girl.
That's the female.
Yes.
Rachel Ticotin. Ticotin.
I don't know.
Well, her.
Her. Guard Bishop.
Guard Bishop. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Guard Falzone.
Oh, yeah. He was an asshole.
Yeah, but whatever. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention Monica Potter plays Trisha Poe, who's
That's right.
Cameron Poe's wife.
His hummingbird.
Hummingbird. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We
so,
should have gotten, like, the audio of that so we could, like, insert it.
I don't know.
And just keep hitting the button to play
I
it
don't know if
over
I
and
can do that to
over.
our listeners.
Oh, yeah, we love you guys too much.
They might get a kick out of it. I don't know if I can do it to myself, having to hear it over and over again like that. It's torture. Oh.
Speaking of torture,
Yeah.
there was the song "How Can I Live Without You."
Yeah.
It was played a few times during the movie.
Yeah. Well, this is Is it Michael Bay?
No.
Who did this movie? Oh, Bruckheimer. This is a Bruckheimer production, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it Bruckheimer?
I think
Yeah,
so.
Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, like his movies around this time, he did The Rock too,
Mhm.
right?
I
And
liked
he
another
did
movie I liked.
Armageddon, right?
Yeah.
Where you'd have these songs that were such an integral part of the movie, and that this movie had that song.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did have that song.
It did. Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
I was like, we didn't even know who sang it, so I was looking up trivia, and it says something about Leanne Rimes being 14 years old when she sang it, so I'm like, it's Leanne Rimes? You're like, no! So then he looked it up, and is it
Trisha Yearwood, maybe? Does that sound right? I'm not a country music fan. I never have been. But then again, I never really gave it a chance. So maybe I'd like it. But that song I didn't like.
Did not like that song.
I'm not a fan of it.
That's okay.
Yeah. So it finally ends with the plane They crash land in.
Well, so we got Baby O, who's getting on the plane and he needs his insulin because he's a diabetic.
So we're gonna go in like okay.
No, I'm just bringing up some things to kind of get us there.
Okay.
So we got Baby O, so you have that going on. So Cameron doesn't want to leave Baby O when the plane stops and they're gonna kick people off.
We didn't explain how the plane got hijacked.
They hijacked it.
How? Do you remember?
Pinball had like lighter fluid in some kind of thing and he like swallowed it, so he pulled it out, squirted it on the guy next to him.
Yeah, you set a guy on fire. So that kind of
caused a distraction.
And
Cyrus and Vin Rames' character had like pins or something under their skin and they were able to get their cuffs off.
They get their cuffs off, yeah.
Yep, and Pinball busted him out when he took the keys.
Yes. And we had...
That brings up, though... Oh, I'll let you finish.
Oh, go ahead.
When they hijack the plane,
yeah,
Cyrus goes in... Like, you have the pilot and the co-pilot. And they're like, what's going on up there? And they take out a gun. I'm, like, telling you, you stay in the cockpit, you make sure it's locked, and you don't leave that area. The gun is to shoot anyone who comes in who's not supposed to be there. But the co-pilot... Oh, what? Gets accosted and boom.
Accosted. There's a $5 word for you.
There you go. And yeah.
I was going to bring up how there was a DEA agent who was flying on the plane undercover, yes. And he's told in advance by John Cusack's character, no guns on the plane, because they wanted, Cole Meany wanted to give his agent a gun. And
I mean, I see both sides.
I see both sides of the argument. I absolutely agree with you. I don't know what would be the right thing to do in that case. No
Maybe
idea.
if the DEA was better trained, like Cameron Poe was, to be a lethal weapon, he wouldn't have that issue.
So anyhow, but what did you just do?
I hit the crickets button.
Wow, you got to let it go for like a little longer.
I can't hear it. I don't have the headphones on.
So maybe don't hit the sound effects if you can't hear what you're doing. Just saying.
We got new toys.
Oh goodness! So he ends up saying, "Fine, I won't bring the gun on the plane." And as he's getting loaded onto the plane, and all the prisoners are getting frisked and everything, and
I thought you were gonna say getting frisky. I don't know why.
Right. As he's getting frisked, Cole Meany's character comes over and says, "I got this," and he gives him like a little snub-nosed revolver. He puts it in his pants and gets him on the plane because he wants his guy to have. But I guess now that I'm thinking about it, everybody's shackled, everybody's cuffed. So how could he even get to his gun and use it properly if he's shackled and cuffed while he's on the plane? You know what I mean?
Is he gonna? Maybe he can contort himself. He's really flexible. He can use his teeth.
And it never really said why he was on the plane either.
No, because they were trying to get a confession out of somebody on there, but I couldn't pick up. I never am able to catch who they're talking about. But they wanted somebody to
I see. Okay.
Because that's why he had a tape recorder. He wanted him
That's right. He had a
to.
tape recorder.
Yes, he wanted him to get. They wanted to get a confession from somebody.
You're good.
Every time I watch it, I'm like, who the hell are they talking about? I keep missing it, and I guess I just don't care enough to rewind it and find out.
Probably not all that important anyway. So, yeah. So these guys escape and start raising hell on the plane. The DEA agent guy gets up. I think he gets unshackled, and then as soon as he gets unshackled, he pulls his gun and he's like, "Oh, I'll kill you," or blah blah, whatever. He's going back and forth with John Malkovich, and immediately he gets shot.
He gets dead.
He's done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
But so the co-pilot comes out, and then John Malkovich, Cyrus, is telling the pilot, what to do. At no point does the pilot close the door.
That's the thing.
And lock it so nobody can get in. Even after John Malkovich leaves.
Yeah, and John Malkovich tells him, if you tell them anything, if you tell Control anything, you're dead, I'll kill you, whatever, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay. And as he's Yeah, and I'm thinking, okay, so he's going to stay in the cockpit with him. And no, he just leaves. Nobody stays in there with the pilot. They shut the door behind them. And I'm like, why aren't you just sounding off the alarms? It's not like they can hear you out there and hear what you're saying. Why wouldn't you tell them so that when you land at the next place, they're ready, you know? But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
So they land at another airfield to pick
Airfield.
up another couple of passengers,
Yes,
right? And
drop
some
some
are
off
getting off,
Mhm.
some are getting on, and Nicolas Cage wants to get off the plane, right?
Yes.
Because Sarah says that some people they're expecting people to get off at the next plane, so who's getting off? Whatever.
Because some people who were supposed to get off got killed. And so
Yes.
he thinks, oh, this is our chance, and Baby O can get his insulin, and my friend and I will be safe.
But the guys that they were expecting were not black. So Baby O can't go. He can't leave. He's got to stay on the plane. So Nicolas Cage changes his mind. He's like, I changed my mind. I'm not going to go. I'll stay. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, there's a couple little subplots in there. I don't really want to get into all that stuff. Watch the movie. But anyway, they end up at Lerner Airfield is where they end up, and they have like a drug dealer, like a Colombian drug dealer or something
So
like
one of the
that.
guys on the plane made the deal with Cyrus about you bust us out, and then we'll have a plane waiting, and
That's
we'll
right.
like all get on the plane and
Yeah, and we'll
and
fly to
go to
South
freedom,
America or
yeah.
wherever. Yeah. And so they get there. It's a double cross. There's no. I mean, there is a plane. This guy.
Oh no, that wasn't at the first. That's not the
No,
the first
talking
exchange.
about-
Yeah, farther down.
I'm skipping down
Yes.
towards the end because if we
True.
go like scene by scene,
No,
we'll be here all
you're
night.
right.
And so they get double cross. Anyway, there's a double cross. The drug dealer guys only got his crew there to get him out. It's not a big enough plane for everybody. It's
So-
basically just for him.
Yeah, and because John Cusack's character meets him up there. Another thing I did not get. So Cameron Poe throws Pinball dies, and Cameron Poe writes a message for John Cusack's character and throws him out the plane. So he gets the message, and he steals a car to drive.
Yeah, he steals the ass kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To drive. Sorry, I just
Oh.
kicked you. I'm so sorry. I kicked him when I crossed my legs. My apologies, love. Are you okay?
Yeah, you got me right in the shin.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But so
Continue.
John Cusack is driving. Meanwhile, they have people flying, and yet John Cusack, driving a car, got to this place faster than the people in the helicopters.
He got there faster than the people in the helicopters. He got there faster than the airplane. Oh, how fast is this guy going in the car, for Christ's sake? And not only did he got there, he had enough time to go into the air control tower, the air traffic control tower. He sees the guy dead. The guy that's supposed to be there is killed, had his throat cut. And he has enough time to kind of run around, try to figure out and make a plan, but he's like going all over the place.
How did he get there
Yeah.
that fast?
Yeah, it's kind of...
Was there a wormhole he
There's
just
a
kind of went
plot
through?
hole there. A little plot hole, but what are you gonna do?
I was confused.
Again, it's a Bruckheimer production. You don't think too hard. It's a movie.
Okay.
Just relax and have fun. Don't get caught in the details. It's the only way you're gonna enjoy it. But yes, you're right. It didn't make any sense at all.
Didn't know cars could go faster than helicopters and planes
Yeah.
with head starts.
Yeah. Well, now you know.
And knowing's half the battle.
Right on. So they end up a big epic gunfight ensues between law enforcement and the convicts. They end up getting back on the plane. They take off.
Dragging the ass kicker behind them.
That's right. And they end up, Nicolas
Vegas.
Cage ends up getting the plane to go down somewhere in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, not somewhere, in Vegas.
Vegas.
In Las Vegas, yeah. Crash into a bunch of hotels. Yeah, it's destruction,
Landing
chaos.
in the strip.
All kinds of fun. And yeah, he finally at the end gets reunited with his daughter and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And all is well as the fantastic song that I already forgot the name of because I don't want to hear it or know it anymore plays on as credits roll.
That song.
Yes.
Mm.
What's that song now? Now I feel good.
Do you want me to tell you? Is it like How Do I
live
You?
without you or something?
Or something. Gotta make sure you have that at the end.
Yes. So that's how. Yeah. So that's that. But yeah, It's I mean it's a shoot 'em up. It's an action movie, a lot of explosions. Yeah, it's not a movie that you're supposed to watch and be like, oh my god, and have your mind blown by this fantastic cinematic experience. It's shoot 'em up. It's guns. It's explosions. It's foul
Witty
language.
lines.
There's
a lot of witty
it's an
lines.
action movie. Yeah, it's an action movie. It's enjoyable. I definitely recommend it because it is a fun watch.
As much as everyone rags on it.
Yeah, as much as even I just ragged
fun.
on it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. Absolutely.
As much as sometimes things don't make sense, you just gotta put that in the background and ignore it and just have fun with it. Do we want to read some reviews on IMDb?
Sure.
All right.
Let's see. I have not looked at any of these.
Nor
I'm just
have
pulling
I.
them up right now. So let's see. Here we go. We got one. Underrated. 10 out of 10 stars. Well, I don't know about that, but all right. From November 11th, 2006, GFHRT435 is the user. John Malkovich gives a groundbreaking performance as Cyrus the Virus in this movie, and you won't find a similar performance anywhere else. He and John Cusack actually overshadow Nicolas Cage for the most part of this movie. This movie is just filled with so many things that will keep you entertained and amused from start to finish, leave you extremely satisfied, and force you to come back and watch the movie all over again. You also won't find such a huge assembly of stars in most other movies either. The same guys won't shy to display their attitudes as well. The story is good and the action is even better. The cinematography and screenplay are also top-notch. This movie was a box office hit, and I can't understand why it's rated so low. I don't know. Here's another 10 out of 10. Wow. Classic one-liners and non-stop action. This is from February 17th of 2000 from Yelly. Not only was Con Air the best movie in 1997, it is an all-time pleaser. It keeps you on the edge of your seat and laughing the whole time. With non-stop action and hundreds of classic one-liners. Hundreds of classic one-liners.
Hundreds.
Wow. This movie just can't lose. A must-see for people of all ages and genders.
All right.
Okay.
I was going to say, Amazon has some reviews too.
Oh, read an Amazon review, please. These are all 10 stars on here. Wow. Okay, here's some 7. I'm looking for like 1 stars because those are fun. I love when people just crap on stuff, and those are usually the wittiest ones too. You ever notice that?
Yeah, they are.
It's like the most intellectual people just crap all over stuff.
I'm trying to look for...
Yeah, a lot of 8, 9, 10s, a lot of 7s. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
A 5 out of 10. Big explosions and dopey dialogue. May work better as a drinking game. By somebody named One Guy Rambling from December of 2011. Wow, this is a long review. I don't know if I'm going to read this whole thing. Yeah, wow.
Wow.
That's a long review. Never mind.
That's multiple paragraphs right there.
Oh, here we go. I got a 1-star finally. First 1-star review from Barky44 back on December 31st of 2012. 1 star. Awful. Utterly awful. What an awful movie. Everything in this movie that makes it vaguely interesting has been done in dozens of movies and with far better results. There's practically nothing original in Con Air. This is a Schwarzenegger-Stallone wannabe. There are far better one-liners in Total Recall and far better action scenes in First Blood than in this knockoff. This is a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy, washed out, unnecessary, and says the same stuff as all the action films that preceded it. Plus, it's just badly made. Nicolas Cage is not only a fish out of water here, he's at his hammiest worst. The action scenes and stunts are just goofy. The jokes have been done over and over again. It's just lame.
Well, that person has not seen A Vampire's Kiss.
The only redeeming quality is Steve Buscemi, but even there, he's been in a lot of better roles. Watch Fargo or something. A terrible movie. Shame on you, Hollywood.
That's a little harsh.
Wow. No
I
kidding.
think I think somebody has some emotional issues that they need to work on. They need to center their heart chakra before they write any more reviews.
I'm not laughing at what you just said. I'm laughing at the next review.
Oh,
but
thanks.
No, sorry. You're funny too, though. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, honey. That makes me feel good.
Good
Thank
grief.
you.
What do you got?
No, go on with yours that popped you.
Okay. Another 1-star review here. Predictably Stupid from Wistrock back in December of 2004. Oh my word, is Nick Cage channeling Seagal or some other action movie retard? I can't believe that John Cusack is in this. Money must have been tight at his house. Stupid stunts, ridiculous situations, lame attempts to be cute all culminate in a giant dung heap of a movie. The sickening sweetness of Nick Cage's sob story is horrible. Rambo was more believable. If there was one more interesting dilemma for Nick to be heroic about, I would have run out of the movie puking. Nick Cage hit the bottom and drilled a hole in it a mile deep. John Malkovich must have been high to have signed on to this one. Ving Rhames is in his usual role as tough guy. On the positive side, John Cusack has some cute lines and Mr. Pink is interesting. Action movies as a whole aren't worth a crap if they take place in a real world setting and don't stay a little closer to real world scenarios and stunts. I miss believable movies like Magnum Force.
I think someone needs a hug.
Wow. All right there.
I got a review on Amazon.
Hit us with it.
From Bubba Sue Rocks, 1 star.
Nice.
Week. Summary. Prisoners killing and blowing up stuff. That's it.
I love it. That's a review right there.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Wow.
Good times.
Another one, 1 star. It was not something I liked! Exclamation point. A poor storyline. Period.
Now, I just pulled up the trivia to get ready, and the first thing that pops up here on the trivia on IMDb is that John Malkovich was unhappy during production because the script was being rewritten virtually every day, and he had no idea how his character was going to turn out. Interesting.
Well, if his character is a psychopath, I
So,
don't
I
think
mean-
the character would really care. Doesn't matter. 'Cause there's just
He cared, though.
Yeah.
There's
has
the
to
point.
get more into character then.
So yeah, that's interesting. I mean, that makes sense now. I guess if the script's being rewritten like every day, I guess we can see now where some of the stuff doesn't really add up. They're just kind of going.
Flying by
yeah.
the seat of their pants.
Yeah, they're just kind of winging it.
Pun intended.
Yeah, very interesting. John Cusack allegedly dislikes this film so much that he refuses to be interviewed about it. Oh, we gotta get in touch, John.
I was gonna say, like, I want to, like,
We
reach
gotta
out
find
and be like,
John
can we
Cusack.
please talk to you
Hey,
about
we're being on
Con
a
Air?
podcast. We're gonna talk about Con Air.
Yeah.
Do you still feel that way, buddy? It's been a while.
We think it's an awesome movie.
Come on, man.
We'll make you feel better.
Interesting. Yeah, Nicolas Cage traveled to Alabama to perfect his
Alabama, that's
There you go.
it.
According to Danny Trejo, there was a lot of tough guy competition in almost everything on the set. For example, when one guy would spit on the floor, the others would immediately imitate it and try to spit even farther.
Why would they be spitting on the floor?
I don't know, why would that even be included in the movie trivia? But okay. Tremendous. Yeah, I mean, the car that DEA agent Duncan Malloy drives is a 1967 Corvette Stingray, and at the time of filming would have retailed for $38,000.
So can a Corvette Stingray go faster than a helicopter or airplane with a head start?
It can if it has a license plate that says ass kicker.
Bang,
Bang,
bang.
boom. There it is. During setups, Nicolas Cage lifted weights off camera to maintain the physique he had already attained for the film. Entertainment Tonight filmed a report on the film during filming and caught Cage working out between takes.
Of course they did. They caught him.
Alright.
I like how they make it sound like they just showed up and were like
Yeah.
sneakily catching him working out. He didn't know.
Right.
It wasn't planned.
Here's that trivia you were talking about earlier. The theme song How Do I Live was originally performed by 14-year-old Leanne Rimes. She's not the one who sang it in this movie. So there you go.
I see, says the blind man as he picked up his hammer and saw.
Kid Rock-based American badass on Cameron Poe.
What?
Okay. If you say so.
Does The Undertaker know that?
Oh, come on. Jeez.
For wrestling fans.
So cheesy. That deserved a trombone. So yeah, that's it for Con Air.
So I have some questions for our listeners.
Oh boy.
Anyone from Alabama? What do you think of his accent? I want your feedback. I want to know. I'm curious.
Yeah, I wonder, is that an accurate Alabama accent? I mean, I've been to Alabama. I don't remember people talking like that. Maybe there's like a region of Alabama where they
Maybe.
talk like that.
See, I don't know. I guess I'm not cultured enough. But if you're from Alabama, let us know.
Yeah.
What do you think of his accent?
I'm curious about that.
I really want to know.
Yeah.
Because here we are, like, laughing
Just
about it.
ripping
And
it
someone's going to
apart.
be like, you guys are assholes. Because,
Probably.
yeah, he's spot on with that accent. I'm gonna be
Probably.
like, oh,
You'd be like,
okay.
oh yeah, you don't like anyone from Alabama? Sorry. No, it's
I
not
love
what I'm saying.
everyone.
It's not what I'm saying at all. I'm sorry.
I even love this
Damn.
movie, so.
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, I'm giving the movie shit. I'm ragging on it, but I actually do like it. Like,
We tease because we care.
yeah, I actually really. It's a fun movie. Again,
It is.
you got to turn your brain off. You're not gonna get any smarter watching the movie. Well, you're not really gonna get smarter watching any movies. But
True.
definitely, this is one of those like turn your brain off, make some popcorn, get some snacks, whatever, and just sit back and just enjoy it. Just enjoy the
Just
absurdity
have
of it. Just enjoy the absurdity of it and have fun. That's it. That's all I got.
So, do you give it a thumbs up?
Oh yeah, it gets a thumbs up for sure.
Same here,
Oh.
absolutely.
Overlook all this stuff we talked about and just have fun. And it's a thumbs up movie, in my opinion.
Yes, I would give it that,
All right.
definitely.
There you go. So, as Monique said, we'd love to hear from you and get your thoughts on the movie. Were we
Yes.
too harsh on it?
Not harsh
Were we
enough.
spot on? Were we not harsh enough?
What do you think of the movie?
Yeah, well, what are your
Did we
thoughts?
miss any, like, awesome parts we should have talked about? There were so many.
Well, there's hundreds of one-liners according to that one review.
Hundreds.
Hundreds of them.
I want to watch it again and count all the one-liners now.
that other review that said it should be a drinking game, that's actually accurate, because you could probably, like, every time
Well-
Nicolas Cage says hummingbird, take a shot or something, you know?
Well, we did that with, we mentioned it before with the Predator
The
movie.
Predator
Yeah,
movie,
we
yeah.
made that a drinking game.
Yeah, our own drinking game. We should put that on Twitter sometime. Like the
Oh,
Predator
our
drinking
Predator
game.
drinking game. I
We
still
came
have
up
it
with.
written down. I have the rules.
I think I still have it saved on my phone. From, geez, when was that? It was a long time ago now.
If you want us to make a Con Air drinking
Oh,
game,
boy.
let us know. We'll get one together.
Sure. It won't be.
We won't be doing it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we.
You guys saw what happened with our Big Fat Greek episode.
Not so much. Yeah. The.
Heck, one glass of wine and we're like, woo!
Yes. So yeah, let us know, and you can find us on Twitter.
At Homewrecker Pod.
What's the other one? Minds.
Minds. At Homewrecker Podcast.
And of course, you can always see us on our website.
Yes, homewreckerpodcast.com.
And as always, you can watch us on
YouTube. Brighteon. We're now on Odyssey. And BitChute hasn't been playing nice, so I don't know if we're going to keep doing BitChute.
Yeah, BitChute's like kind of hit or miss, right?
It doesn't always upload like almost an entire week. I'll be every day, sometimes multiple times a day trying to upload the video, and it just won't do it. So I give up once the
Okay,
episode airs.
fair enough.
I tried.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can watch us and hear us, and you can subscribe.
Yeah, as always, subscribe on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on Spotify,
Like.
Amazon. Yeah, anywhere you can. Like, subscribe, and if you want to leave us a review and give us 5 stars, that'd
Yes,
be
please.
fantastic and
Yes.
much appreciated as well. And yeah, that's about it. Until next time.
We got something fun for next time.
Yeah, but we're not going to say.
Nope.
We're not going to say, but I think it will be fun. It will definitely be fun. And until then, I am the Golden Greek Alexarion, joined as always by my beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, amazing hummingbird.
Oh, so bad.
My trophy wife, the lovely Monique.
And you've been listening to the Homewrecker podcast.
Hummingbird.
Oh, God.
My hummingbird.
No.
What did he call his daughter? Didn't he have a name for his daughter?
Ah, he did. I can't remember.
Wasn't it my sweet Casey? Wasn't her
I
name
thought it was
Casey?
something- Yeah, Casey. Casey Poe. I can't remember.
Funny
We just
name.
gotta let it go. Gotta let it go.
Yeah, we'll just let it go. Till next time.